There's no place like home. We hear it in songs, we read it in books, people say it, just comes off the top of the head. There's no place like home. But why is there no place like home? I've just been away for a few days. We've just got back. And all the time I was there, really, I wanted to come home because there's no place like home. But why is there no place like home? Is it just familiarity? And we'll come back to that at the end of this chat. But is it just familiarity? And is the word familiarity it just covers everything, doesn't it? Oh, it's just familiarity with home. But what is the familiarity? You go away and I liked where I was, but I wanted to come home. You go on holiday and it's great. But at the end of that holiday, most of us kind of look forward, we want to come home. But the thing is, when you go on holiday, it's a bit different than just going into another environment, because the chances are you've budgeted for it. You're going to spend more because you're going as a break away from home. You're going to enjoy yourself, you're going to spend money, you're going to have a good time, you're going to do things that you would never do at home once or twice a year to get away from the familiarity of home. But what is that familiarity, really? It's kind of, it's ephemeral, we can't pin it down, can we? I went away, beautiful, made a video walking through a beautiful village in North Yorkshire, but I wanted to get home. And I think it boils down more when we think about it, home. What does home mean? And again, I will come back to another definition of it at the end of this video. But home, it is a familiarity, but what is the familiarity? The familiarity isn't just about the room you're in, the food you eat at home, that pulling up that familiar duvet and that pillow at night. I miss that, I want that. There's a lot more into it. It's difficult to pin this one down, so I'm going to start with like senses first. Obviously, it's what you see, it's the world around you, it's the buildings, it's the type of buildings, because even in a small country like England, and I'll not say the UK, because let's keep it as a local as we can, even in a small country like England, we go over, the buildings are so different. I can go down to the Black Country, or in Stoke-on-Trent around there, and because the industry was different, the buildings are different. Even the houses that people lived in are different, because a lot of them are based around the design of the industrial buildings. Round here, a lot of the houses are built in terrace rows, because these terrace rows were attached to the mills. Many of the mills are gone, most of the mills are gone, but some are still there. So what you see, the road network is familiar, is different, because it's built around the geography of the place. Flat, open areas down in East Anglia will have totally different road systems than the winding single lane roads in the Lake District and Snowdonia. There you go, I've mentioned Wales and I shouldn't have done. In the Lake District and perhaps the Yorkshire Dales. The economics of areas are different. Some places are more affluent than others, and this actually reflects in the type of shops you have, in the type of high streets, and these high streets are different because some high streets are based around agricultural areas and some high streets are based around industrial areas, and some places are based around just rural areas that don't have a real definition. They have an identity, but they cannot be pigeonholed into agricultural or industrial. And because some places are more affluent than others, the dress is different. What people wear is different. Where I come from a real, not rough, but a basic working class town that was based around cotton mills and mines. The people seem to be more dour and dress accordingly. Whereas if I go into Cheshire, not that many miles away, I can go into very affluent areas on the outskirts, in the countryside, a commuter belt of Manchester, where all the footballers live, where all the cars are bigger and the people's clothes cost more. But wherever you are, that is what is familiar to you. Wherever you come from, that is what is familiar to you. The type of food in the shops. So now we've gone from what we see, what we hear. The accents, of course, the accents are local. So that's what you're familiar with. And the geography dictates how much sky you see. I'm lucky here because I'm on the edge of the industrial area here, but it's not industrial anymore, is it? The mills are long gone, the mines are long gone. A lot of places are a lot more rural now and depend on different incomes. And I've got masses and masses of sky. Even going up to my brother's, and it's a very open, flat area, didn't quite feel it had the same amount of sky. It's what's familiar. There's no place like home. The accents, the sounds around you that you hear, all the accents are based on regions. The sounds are based on industry and commerce. Even the sounds are based on the techniques used to make the roads. The kind of tarmac, and believe it or not, this is a thing. You can drive down roads in North Yorkshire, you can drive around roads in Cheshire, in Staffordshire, in Cornwall, anywhere in the country. And the roads are constructed slightly differently, and the road noise through your tyres is slightly different. But none of you have thought about that, have you? The smells that drift because of the geography. Even the smells are different. Smells like if you live in a valley, the chances are breeze is directed down it, so fresh air is coming through. It lingers less. Whereas if you go into an industrial area, a lot of people will know this. There are breweries in Manchester. Not as many now as there were, but breweries are used because they have a very distinct smell about them. And you knew when you were coming near this brewery because you could smell the hops, and it lingered because it was just the industrial landscape. It was flat, it was confined, it was held in buildings, it was held in by distant hills on the Peak District and the Pennines. And it lingered, and the smell of the brewery was always there. And that was your familiarity, that was your familiar place, that was what made it. There's no place like home. So it goes a lot deeper, doesn't it? Even in your home, the chances are that you've decorated your home. Okay, we all decorate our homes from IKEA and places like that nowadays, which is so It's just all looks the same no matter where in the world you are. But the small furnishings, the pictures, the colours, a lot of the time they will be dictated by the area around you, affecting how you kind of see art and see colours. If you want to buy things, if you want to buy artisan things, if you want to buy locally made goods to furnish your home, the clue's in the name. They will be locally made goods. There's no place like home. But home is just made up of masses and masses of different emotions and different sights and different smells and different ways that the world around you, that your town around you has actually changed since you were a child. I'm an old fart now, I'm 71 years old, and I remember these areas I'm walking now. Okay, these haven't changed much, but the houses, the towns, it's all changed, but it's changed slowly and in a familiar way. I have changed with it around me. It's kind of in my bones, it's in my blood, so that I can go away somewhere that is slightly different, like I have done, but it feels so much different because there is so much difference. You kind of think, what's the difference? The difference is just the architecture or the landscape. It's not. It's the sounds, it's the smells, it's the size of the sky. It's the news that comes through the television. It's the goods you see in the shop windows, it's the food you see in the shop windows, it's the food you buy, it's the packaging on the food you buy. It's the colours of the packaging on the food you buy. And as you walk out of that door, it's the accents that you hear, especially somewhere like the UK that has this massive amount of different accents, and they're so regional. It's almost, you can tell what street somebody lives in. My mother grew up about 8 miles from where I grew up, and she hates my accent because it's not the same as her accent. She says my accent is lazy and harsh and hard, and I can tell the difference between her Bolton accent and my Lee accent. And yes, it is harder and coarser and more clipped, and the vowels aren't as round. Little things like that. There is no place like home, because home is just so many emotions all built up. And what you might say about those people who've moved away to different countries and different parts of the country, shouldn't they feel like there's no place like home? Just because they haven't built up that generational link. But of course they can, because what you've got there is an aspiration of home. You've already taken in, you may have only been there a matter of weeks, you move home, you decide to have a break. First of all, you've got your familiar things around you in your house, but you've got the area around you that you aren't familiar with, but you've got an aspiration of familiarity. You want to make that your home. You want those smells and those sights and those sounds, different as they are from somewhere 20, 30, 40 miles away. You want them to be familiar. You want them to feel like home. You want them to feel like home, not just for you, but your family, because you want your family to be happy and comfortable. So again, there is no place like home, even if you've only been there briefly, because you've got home is also an aspiration, isn't it? Wherever you are, you want it to be familiar. You want to be happy. There, nobody goes to live somewhere and aspires to feel like an outsider for the rest of their life. You aspire to be a local, to be part of the community, to feel the sound, feel the feels, hear the sounds, taste the tastes, see the sights, and that's what you want to do. So there's no place like home. And for me, there's no place like home here. I've only actually lived in this area for a couple of years. Before that, I've lived in a couple of places, all fairly local to where I was born. But I want to be part of this town that even when I'd only been here briefly, I knew it, I'd been through it millions of times. I'd never actually knew it, I never lived in it, I'd never shopped in it, I'd never had a doctor in it, I'd never been to a pub in it or whatever. But I immediately wanted it to be home because I knew I was here for a length of time. I wanted it to feel like home. There is no place like home. So even if I'd been here a week, we went away to a cottage in the Lake District, just Molly and I, for a few days, and both of us wanted to come home. Molly desperately just wanted to come home. She never settled for a minute. She just sat and stared at me. In fact, I think we came home a bit early because she was unsettled and I was as well. I enjoyed it to begin with, but pretty soon there was no place like home, and that home was somewhere I hadn't been for long, but I wanted it. I wanted it to be familiar. I wanted the sounds and smells and sights and the feels. I wanted them to be familiar because I knew I was there for a time and I may be here for the rest of my life. And it is now familiar, and the sounds are different and the sights and the smells and the feels are different to everywhere I've lived, because of course they are. They are for everyone. So when you say there's no place like home, and when you miss home, what are you missing? You're missing more than just the comfort of your own couch, the warmth of your own central heating. You're missing things that you don't realise you're missing. You're missing the sound of the traffic, the distinct sound of the traffic, the distinct sound of an accent, the distinct goods in the shops, the distinct architecture, the distinct sky. Because even in a small country like ours, there's diverse weather all over it. Up here we're known for it being wet and cold and miserable, and down in Cornwall they're known for it being warm and sunny and beautiful. And you miss it. And you miss all the little things you don't know about, you don't realise you're missing. Just every little thing that comes through your senses. The birds will be different. The insects will be different. The soil under your feet will be different. Of course it will. The rocks will be different. Everything. The trees, probably even the sound of the stream at the side of me will be distinctive. There really is no place like home. And that's why I think we miss it so much when we're away from it. No matter how long that home has been home, even if it's only been home briefly. Because then you've got the aspiration for it to be home. You want it to be home. You want it to be familiar. So in your mind it becomes familiar. And I'm glad to be home. I really am. I will be going up again. Quite often now I will have to see my mum and give my brother a bit of a break. But I'll always want to come home. And if I moved, I would always want to go to that home, because home is home is home. The sound of the aeroplane above me, because I know that I'm near Manchester Airport. There. Home is home is home, and I'm glad to be home. And I love home. And I don't know why. Well, I do know why, because I've just mentioned the reasons why. But you don't know why, do you? It's a beautiful day. It's cold and frosty. We were forecast snow, but I don't think we're going to get snow yet. But it's icy. The cars were all iced up this morning. There's a stream here I have to walk through, but I'm not going to. I'm going to make my way down there, and I don't think I can cross over there. Molly wants to go. Oh God, we're going to have to go through it. Anyway, before I get my feet wet through, I'm going to say, just enjoy it. Enjoy the weather. I hope your weather is nice as it is here. It's a beautiful blue sky, and Molly's walking through the water now. She must be freezing. And I have to know, and chances are I'll get my feet wet. We shall see you on the flip. Peace and love.